Welcome back to Mr. Scott Maths. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to add together numbers that are in standard form. So a number in standard form consists of a number between 1 and 10 multiplied by 10 to the power of an integer. So for example, 5 times 10 to the power of 7 is a number in standard form. 3 times 10 to the power of 7 is also a number in standard form. Now in this example, we see that our powers are the same. If we were to write these numbers out in full, this number here would work out as 50 million, and this number would be 30 million. And we could add those two together and we'd make 80 million. And we see that we're still in the tens of millions. So our power, if we were to write this as a number again in standard form, would still be 7. So what we see is that we can add together our two coefficients. 5 add 3 gives us 8. And we're going to keep our power of 10 the same, times 10 to the power of 7. So this is going to be our answer in this case. Now we just need to check that it is still a number in standard form. We still have a number between 1 and 10, multiplied by 10 to the power of an integer. So I'm happy this is still standard form. So my answer is 8 times 10 to the power of 7. Let's take a look at another example. In this case, again, we have the same power. So we can simply add together our coefficients. 5 add 6 gives us 11. We keep that power the same, so we have 11 times 10 to the power of 8. But in this case, we now end up with a number that's not in standard form. This coefficient is too big, it needs to be less than 10. So we need to adjust this answer to turn it back into standard form. We are going to do this by actually turning this 11 into standard form. That would be 1.1 times 10 to the power of 1. That's just 1.1 times 10, which is 11. And then we still have our times 10 to the power of 8 on the end. Now we are going to combine these two powers here. We see we're multiplying with the same base number, so we can add these powers together. This stays as 1.1. We're now multiplied by 10 to the power of 1 plus 8, which is 9. We end up with 1.1 times 10 to the power of 9. In this next example, we have 6 times 10 to the power of 6, add 7 times 10 to the power of 5. So what we should notice now is that our two powers are different. We need to make sure that these powers are the same before we do any adding. We always aim to convert to the larger of the two powers. So this number is going to stay the same. It's still going to stay as 6 times 10 to the power of 6. However, 7 times 10 to the power of 5, we have to adjust. And we're going to adjust this by dividing the 7 by 10 and making up for that by multiplying this power by another 10. So this becomes 0.7 times 10 to the power of 6. These two are worth exactly the same value, but now we have matching powers. Now that we have those matching powers, we can add together our coefficients. 6 and 0.7 is 6.7. Multiplied by 10 to the power of 6. Now we just need to check that our answer is in standard form. We have a number between 1 and 10, multiplied by 10 to the power of an integer, so I'm happy with this answer. 6.7 times 10 to the power of 6. In this final example, we have 8 times 10 cubed, add 9 times 10 to the power of 5. So in this case, again, we don't have matching powers. In fact, our powers are mismatched by 2. So again, we're going to target that higher power, and we're going to turn this number here into a new number with the same value, but a power of 5. Since we need to increase this power by 2, we are going to divide our coefficient by 10 squared, or 100. So this 8 becomes 0.08. And it's multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. This second number stays exactly as it is, 9 times 10 to the power of 5. And now we can see that we have matching powers. We have a power of 5 in both numbers. So we can add together our two coefficients, 0.08 add 9, which is 9.08. Our power stays the same, times 10 to the power of 5. Again, we just need to check this is in standard form. 9.08 is between 1 and 10, so I'm happy with that. Multiplied by 10 to the power of an integer, so again, I'm happy with that. So our answer is 9.08 times 10 to the power of 5.